Warning. This program may contain material of an explicit or graphic nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Broadcasting undead from the B Ward, this is Post Mortem. I'm Dom.
And I'm JD.
Discord B Ward, Discord B Ward. How's it going?
Good. The Penguins won.
Penguins won.
I'm a happy boy.
Yeah. I saw the last couple of minutes of that.
Well, we don't know if they won because actually we cut it 6 minutes short.
That's true. There could have been some sort of... The game
miracle.
Could have never finished.
Yeah.
Aliens could have landed, and we missed it because we're here doing Post Mortem.
Well, on behalf of the Penguins, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Probably not. I actually, I'm still kind of in finals mode right now because I've been, doing finals all fucking week. And I took an astronomy class, and one of the last units we did was about, the potential for extraterrestrial life. And it's only, 1 in 80 million planets that could ever potentially have extraterrestrial life. So even if there are aliens, we'll probably never see them. And if they are going to land, it's probably not going to be during a Penguins game.
Yeah, that's probably true. And have you heard they found water on Mars?
Oh, yeah. They've... Mars... Finals knowledge. Mars has polar ice caps.
Yeah. Crazy. So today, as a polar opposite... Polar ice caps, polar opposite? You like that little tie-in?
That was good.
As a polar opposite...
Good little pun there.
To our episode... 2 episodes ago, we did Top 5 Elderly Characters.
That's right, yeah.
Today, we're going to be all about the children. We love the children.
I believe the children.
Edit that part out. We'll edit the part about us loving the children out.
No, we're not. We're going to leave that.
Okay, so we're going to...
I believe the children are the future.
We're going to bring you the top 5 kids.
Yeah.
The kids.
Yeah, that one was kind of fun. Kind of a fun list to put together. I'm 36, so to me, anyone under 19 is a kid.
Yeah.
But I limited myself to anyone from baby age to just being old enough to drive a car. Anywhere in between.
Mine are pretty much pre-pubescent.
Yeah.
Pretty much all. Kids.
Almost all of mine are. There's one exception to that. They were kind of more like tweens, but they're good characters. So
some of my honorable mentions are.
Yeah.
I kind of push those to honorable mentions if they're like that.
I kept my honorable mentions to the big movies.
Just to reiterate. This is top 5 kids that aren't Dennis.
I'm going to have something to say about Dennis.
Okay, you can have something to say about Dennis.
Because Dennis is the singularity of all awesome children. You know how Sparky Ballard always gets the referee awards?
Yeah.
Dennis is like the Sparky Ballard of children in horror movies.
Slowly, this is becoming the Dennis endorsed podcast and not the Doug Jones. I'm still thinking Doug Jones.
We were discussing earlier when we were texting back and forth. There's the holy trinity of Post Mortem, and Doug Jones is the father, and Dennis is the son, and Jeffrey Combs is the Holy Spirit.
I love it.
We need to make scent candles.
Yes. Yeah, we coming soon to a store near you, the official Post Mortem candles.
They're going to be at the 99-cent stores in the really, really ethnic parts of LA.
No, we're just going to white spray paint out the Jesus on the 99-cent store candles and draw, hand pencil draw Jeffrey Combs, Dennis, and Doug Jones.
That works. Stick figure with a mullet, really tall, skinny stick figure with a green syringe.
All right, well, that's a hell of an intro.
Yeah.
So, all that's left for next is...
Yeah.
As opposed to the couple previous weeks, I've had some good and some bad news.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of bad news. I feel like luck has been down. There's been a lot of bad horror news coming out.
Yeah, I kind of ignore the bad news and just don't talk about it.
It's still news.
Yeah, that's true.
A bombing is still news.
That's true.
So, you got to talk about it.
That's true. And remaking inside is akin to like some sort of terrorist act.
Yes, exactly. Well, this week I'm feeling pretty positive.
Good.
Penguins just won,
Yeah.
2-1 now in the playoff series. Pretty happy about that. So I got 3 pieces of positive news.
Awesome.
We're all positive.
Good.
We're going full on hippie.
I've got some cool news and some pretty awesome news. So,
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start off.
All right. Fire away.
Lars von Trier, director of Antichrist and Nymphomaniac, is coming out with a new movie called The House That Jack Built. Yes. What are your feelings on Antichrist? Chaos reigns.
I just love Lars von Trier. My first exposure to him was The Kingdom. It was a TV miniseries that he made about a haunted hospital. They remade it in America called Kingdom Hospital, and it was completely ridiculous. But The Kingdom was fantastic. It had like psychic Down syndrome kids working in the hospital kitchen, and weird ghost train going through it, and all kinds of freaky shit. And everything that he's done has just been weirder and weirder since then.
Yeah, Antichrist is fucking weird. Nymphomaniac, a lot of people say like, oh, he's just trying to like show a bunch of dicks and scare people away and make it like that. That's actually a really good movie. The story's good.
A psychologically deep movie.
Yeah, it is. It's fucked up.
Lars von Trier has been through some shit in his life.
He has. He kind of reminds me of Gaspar Noé.
Yeah.
Like Irreversible. It's like that kind of,
yeah.
You know? He's that same kind of director a little bit, you know?
He's working through some shit. He's like that guy in San Francisco that dresses up like a bush and sits next to like park benches and stuff like that. Did you ever hear that story?
No,
this
I've
dude
not.
in San Francisco is dressed up like a bush, sitting next to park benches. He'd be out there every day. And finally some dude, like he posted it online, he went up and asked the guy, like, why are you doing that? And
A Herbert or a W? Oh, gotcha.
a ficus.
Oh, a ficus. Okay, not a Herbert Walker, not a W, but a ficus.
An actual ficus, a bush of some
I would go up and pee on him and act like I didn't know, even when he's like, "Hey, man, what the fuck?"
Yeah, finally some dude went up and was like, "Why are you doing that?" And the guy's answer was, "I'm just working through some things." Lars von Trier is like the cinematic version of that.
So this movie, House That Jack Built, Lars von Trier, set in Washington, and is told from the perspective of a serial killer.
Okay.
It's told over 10 years in narrative segments, similar to Nymphomaniac. Kind of like how Nymphomaniac, you've seen Nymphomaniac?
Yeah, it felt very episodic.
Yeah, like it's periods of her life, and she's recalling it to that old guy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, but it's a serial killer.
It's like a spiritual sequel, except instead of compulsively fucking, you're compulsively murdering.
Yes, exactly. So I'm actually looking forward to it.
I look forward to
I like Lars von
does,
Trier. Yeah, I like his stuff. I do like those movies, as controversial as they may be, but he's dipping his toes in the horror realm.
Nice.
And
it's not his first time.
Not his first, but it actually was supposed to be a 6-episode miniseries on TV. But he said, no, fuck you and your censorship.
Gotcha.
I'm going to make this the way I want to make it. I'm going to make a long-ass movie.
Nice.
So it's supposed to be pretty long. Because 6 TV episodes, think about that. That's like 6 hours.
Like 45
edit
minutes
it down.
6,
yeah, edit it down. It's probably going to be like 3 hours long.
Wow.
So set to come out in 2018. Already began filming. So
I like that he does what he wants, and that he he's
punk
not
rock
in it
director.
for the money. He's in it to tell the story that he needs to tell, and he does it well, so he makes the money.
Yep. What you got this week?
Bloody Disgusting just released a trailer for a new splatter comedy called The Night Watchman.
Okay. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
The story appears to be about a group of loser nighttime security guards who have to save the staff of an office building from a vampire plague unleashed by an undead clown. It looks silly and really gory, and there's tits in the trailer.
Good.
And all of those things are good signs.
Yeah. You know what? It's kind of weird, though, because of the whole 31 thing.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of don't like when movies come out. If it's a coincidence, then, you never know, but...
Right.
Sometimes there's these movies that come out, big
Studios
budget,
try to cash in,
and then they try to cash in, and they try to do there's that Krampus movie, which was really good.
Yeah,
it's a little funny horror comedy.
Yeah,
I actually enjoyed it.
I saw that in the theater actually.
But so there's another movie called like The Krampus Spirit or something like that.
Right.
Like, some kind of bullshit.
The Transformers movie came out, and then they made Transmorphers.
Yeah, like that kind of shit. God, I hope it's not like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be. It looks like it's gonna be. It looks like it's high quality. First of all, like all of the scenes are shot like it's an actual legit movie, not like something from the Sci-Fi Channel. And there's some good humor in the in the preview. So if that's if that's any indicator, I think it's going to be at least entertaining and definitely gory.
I love me a horror comedy.
Yeah.
You know that.
And
That's
I
my
like
favorite.
vampire clowns. So
Vampire clowns. All right. Well, last week I talked about the Wolf Creek miniseries.
right.
The same director, Greg McLean, has a new one coming out. A full-length movie, not a miniseries. It's called The Belko Experiment. You heard of this?
Mm-mm.
It was written by James Gunn, who wrote the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Oh yeah, did
And Slither.
And also Tromeo and Juliet
And Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes. I was trying not to mention those movies. Trying to stay to the horror realm, but...
Guardians of the Galaxy was a great movie.
That's all right.
It was better than it had any right to be for a movie starring Dave Bautista, a talking tree, and an anthropomorphic raccoon. That movie should have been fucking retarded.
I'm just done with superheroes, dude. I'm so fucking done with superhero movies. Even to where, like, I think that if all these fucking X-Men, Captain America, Avengers, all this shit didn't come out, maybe I would have liked Deadpool more. Mm-hmm. But it even, like, kind of killed that for me because it was just, like, too much.
It's my third favorite genre.
Really?
Yeah, so...
It's probably my least favorite.
Huh.
And I'm not a big comic book guy. I love me some Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I grew up on Marvel Comics, so that's probably where the difference is.
I read them too when I was a kid. It's just too much. It's like, oh, what can we... It feels like they're milking the teat.
Yeah.
They're milking the teat.
I felt like that watching the Doctor Strange preview, and I love the Doctor Strange comics, so it hurts me to say that.
Yeah, Doctor Strange is cool, but they're milking the fucking corporate teat.
Yeah, it should. Maybe they should like take a couple years off.
Yeah, that'd be okay. And now they're going with the R-rated comic book movies. Maybe that'll bring it back, but they're just milking the fucking teat. Oh, these movies are making money. Let's crank out as many as we can.
We've talked about this before, but I want a new R-rated Spawn movie. I think it's about time
for sure.
that.
We talked about that last week. Yeah. So, anyways. Not to go on a tangent, Post Mortem stuff.
Right.
This movie, The Belko Experiment. Director, Greg McLean of the Wolf Creek. Written by James Gunn, who wrote The Dawn of the Dead and Slither. It's a corporate version of Battle Royale, basically.
Okay.
83 American employees are trapped in a building in Colombia and forced to kill each other, or they will be killed. The building gets locked down. It's a corporate building. There's like an American corporation that has offices in different countries. Mm-hmm. So they go to South America. They have this Colombia building. One day, everyone goes to work. Everything's normal. All of a sudden, the building's locked down. They can't get in or out. They have to kill each other.
That's cool.
Yes. It's supposed to have a lot of dark comedy. Features two of my favorite character actors. Michael Rooker, who's in Slither.
Yeah.
Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And John C. McGinley. The Mad Doctor from Scrubs.
Mad Doctor. Nice. Hey, I love those stories. Like it's hard to go wrong with take a bunch of people who aren't killers and turn them all loose on each other kind of story. I even liked The Condemned with Steve Austin and Vinnie Jones.
Yeah. John C. McGinley in a Dean Koontz book called Intensity.
I don't think I ever saw that movie. I saw Insomnia, but
you got to see Intensity.
Okay.
It was a miniseries on TV, and it's really, really well done.
Okay.
I have it. It's very rare. I have it on DVD. I'll let you borrow it.
Cool. My dad's a big fan of that book.
Really?
Yeah, it's always laying around the house somewhere.
Okay, let you borrow it, and you can show it to your old man.
Okay, sounds good. I have one more piece of news. I was limited on my news this week because I was busy with school, but this is something that I'm really excited about. In July, a documentary is coming out called 30 Years of Garbage. It's seeing limited release, and it chronicles the history of the Garbage Pail Kids, including interviews with the creators and producers, artists, collectors, and celebrities who were influenced by them. It includes how they were consumed.
Celebrities who were influenced by them.
Like comedians and shit, yeah. But there's this one guy, the guy who created that show, The Goldbergs. His name is Adam Goldberg. And,
Bill?
Yeah, Bill Goldberg. Yeah. His name's Adam Goldberg, and he said that he was like a misfit kid, and he didn't really know what he wanted to do, and then he saw the atom bomb, the very first Garbage Pail Kid.
How is Bill Goldberg going to run this rabbi school? Bill Goldberg is the principal of the Hebrew school. He's spearing students left and right.
You ever seen the movie where Bill Goldberg was the evil Santa Claus going around killing people?
Santa's sleigh. It's terrible.
And then...
Don't watch it.
Don't they talk about that in Ernest Saves Christmas? Like they're making a movie called Santa's Sleigh? And Santa sees them filming and gets all pissed off. It's a weird crossover kind of thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a movie within the movie.
I bet they're not related. I bet the people who made Santa's Sleigh
just thought they would be a real witty.
Yeah.
So anyway, this Garbage Pail Kids documentary talks about how they were created, the artistic process, and also how they, rose to fame in pop culture, and also the new effort to reboot the Garbage Pail Kids for the new generation of kids. The preview had nothing, however, on the Garbage Pail Kids movie, nor its awesome theme song.
Really?
Yeah,
just like trading cards and shit.
Yeah,
in the comics.
But it might be in the movie. I don't know, but they didn't even touch it in the preview. I didn't really like that movie, actually. It wasn't good. It wasn't good by any stretch of the imagination.
No, it was not good.
But it was entertaining.
It's kind of like Mars Attacks. The Mars Attacks movie was not that great, but the trading cards and stuff when you were a kid were awesome.
Yeah. It's, well, I mean, I also like Mars Attacks, but
I hate that part of it. I love the character acting, Jack Nicholson.
Oh, yeah.
All those Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah. That was, I think, probably Tim Burton's last really good movie.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It's so fucking ridiculous. It's basically Independence Day came out. It's a blockbuster.
Yeah.
Let's spoof it and use this concept that people go to.
Yeah.
Because it's Mars Attacks.
Right.
So the fans of that will do. Plus the fans that think it's just a spoof of Independence Day. It's like the Scary Movie thing.
Yeah.
But for Independence Day.
Yeah, and way smarter.
Yeah. It's pretty good. So. All right. Well, have you seen it, or are you just looking forward to it?
It's not out till July.
Okay.
They're going to be doing a limited screening of it, and then it's going to be hitting on demand.
I don't know about that one. I don't know about it.
No?
No, I like Garbage Pail Kids and stuff, but I hate when there's a documentary and it ignores things that happened and only focuses on certain parts and skips over shit.
It may not ignore it. I mean, it was only a 3-minute preview, so...
Yeah, okay. Well, if it doesn't ignore it, that's good, but
I'll watch
I just don't like...
I
don't like documentaries that are told from one side.
It's the facts.
Yes, and I don't like documentaries that skip over a whole period of history. Like if it's a documentary about like a singer or something, and they release this terrible album that everyone fucking hates in the 80s.
They don't talk about it.
They don't talk about that. They talk about all the shit they did in the 70s.
Whitney Houston and just skip over her crack face.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, they were in the 70s. This was their great album. And then they reunited for one show in 1990.
And
you don't talk about the whole fucking 80s. Yeah. So, got one more little piece of news for you. Last week we recorded on Friday the 13th, which, as I said, was the release of the new Doom.
That's right. And you've been playing it nonstop ever since, right?
Yes, I have. I talked a little bit about it, but wanted to wait till I had gone through a good chunk before talking about it in depth on the show. Now I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. I must tell you, it is the most brutal fucking horror game ever.
Wow.
The levels of gore are fucking uncharted. The gameplay is amazing. It's about one space marine trying to seal the gate to hell that is open on Mars and fight off hordes of demons. You also get to go to hell at one point.
Nice.
Just like our episode last week.
Yeah.
You got to take on the demons, fight them. When you die, you don't just die, you're ripped to fucking shreds.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that.
Looked
like you're getting humped by the imps or something.
Exactly. If you're a fan of horror and first-person shooters, you need to check it out. We don't talk a lot about games. We talk mainly about movies, but occasionally, you've talked about more games than me. But
I love horror games.
Yeah, these kind of things, this is a huge crossover for you guys. You know, if you love horror movies, and you haven't checked this out, you got to check it out. It's on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and it's on Steam for PC. So check it out. I played the old school Dooms from the mid-90s still, and this one holds up.
I remember having to load that on my computer on floppy disks, and it was like 10 disks.
Shareware.
Yeah.
So that's my
marketing.
Yeah, great marketing. Yeah, they gave out free shareware.
Yeah.
2 levels.
Yeah, give you the first 2 levels, get you hooked, and then you had to wait for your friend to buy it and get the disc from them.
Exactly. Kind of like what's going on nowadays. So that's it for horror news. We'll be back after a quick word from our sponsors.
Hi, thanks for listening to the Post Mortem podcast. If you want to support us, go to our website at www.postmortemshow.com and click the Amazon link.
By clicking on the Amazon banner Amazon will give a small percentage of the purchase price of your item back to the Post Mortem podcast at no additional cost to you. That's right. It doesn't cost you any money. We get money. You want us to keep doing this? You want more Doug Jones talk? You want more dick and fart talk? I don't care. We're going to do it.
Fund our filthy, filthy habits.
Yes, and they are many and they are fast.
And most of them aren't legal.
Yes. Click the banner. Just do it.
Come on, don't be a dick. Give us money.
And we're back with some more Post Mortem. What's 7 plus 7?
14?
It's not a dozen. It's not a baker's dozen.
No, it's not.
It's a Post Mortem dozen.
That's right. Post Mortem dozen is 14.
Because this is episode 14.
12 plus 2.
Did you expect this shit to be going on for 14 weeks?
I don't expect anything to last more than 2 or 3 minutes, honestly. Long enough to get done, roll over, and fall asleep.
That's what she said.
Yep. That's where I was going with that.
I know. Very, very, very thinly veiled, but I got it.
That's good. We're on the same track here.
So, this week, you got a good movie, you got a bad movie?
Yep.
How good is your good movie?
Okay. It's above average.
How bad is your bad movie?
Well below average.
Okay, well, I will let you go first, but before we do that...
It's time for the good movie. And the bad movie.
My bad movie, watched last night, brand new to Netflix. It's called Fairlane Road. It's a 2015...
I saw the little preview thing.
Yeah.
Did not wish to partake.
Yeah. I needed a bad movie. I got a bad movie.
You don't do it that way. I always try to get a good movie and find a bad movie.
The movie that's my good movie, I actually expected to be my bad movie.
Oh, okay.
So
kind of like The Veil. Remember?
Yeah. I go into things with low expectations so that I don't get let down.
Me too.
But at this point, so this movie was directed by opera singer turned writer-director Gualtiero Negrini in his feature film debut. It stars a lot of people with the last names Negrini and Kazarian.
Okay.
You know a movie is going to have problems when a high portion of the cast share the same last name.
Frankie Kazarian or what?
No, he wasn't in the movie.
No, he wasn't in it.
I call this the Monos the Hands of Fate effect, where half the cast is related, and so you know that they didn't have enough budget and they didn't have enough interest, so they just had to call up all of their cousins and people that they knew and be like, "Hey, I'm making a movie. I need someone."
You know what the worst part about having half the cast be related?
What's that?
It makes the love scenes very difficult. It's very hard to pretend to hump your sister.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You got to look each other in the eye afterwards.
Yeah.
Woof.
That's a rough Thanksgiving.
Everybody, it's so quiet you just hear them chewing.
That's our rating system this week. Incestual Thanksgivings.
Okay, done. And the one family member that was in the movie is there at dinner, and they're like, "So, how'd that movie come out?" And someone just goes,
They just start lighting the house on fire for something. An excuse.
Everyone breaks down in tears at the same time. So this movie, the plot line of this movie is a guy named Nick is guilted by his overbearing mother into going to the California desert to spend a weekend caring for his ailing uncle. Not alien uncle, ailing, like the guy's sick. And there he finds himself confronted and tormented by restless spirits and a pissed-off Navajo shaman.
It would be much better if he had an alien uncle.
It would, yeah. And the whole movie is him trying to hide his uncle from Donald Trump. Fuck. We got a movie there.
This movie is way better than the actual movie. Our movie we're making up
right now.
Incestual Thanksgiving aliens hidden from Donald Trump.
It's like E.T. kind of.
E.T. meets the wall.
That's awesome. Anyway, right off the bat, this movie starts with shitty CG animals. Shitty CG snake, shitty CG wolf. Getting a real animal, filming it for a second, then splicing in would have been cheaper and looked better. Fucking National Geographic stock footage would have looked better than the cartoonish fucking... The wolf in this movie, remember the Neverending Story? and like that dog puppet that wasn't really all that great, but like it was scary.
He's awesome.
This CG wolf makes that dog look like Boomer, who's laying in here right now.
Yeah, if you hear a dog snoring, occasionally coughing, breathing heavy, or rolling over, it's my old ass fat dog right here. You know what? There's no excuse for bad CG animals anymore.
No, there's not.
The Revenant.
Yeah.
The bear scene.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, that bear looked awesome.
Yeah. There's no excuse.
And especially when my statistics teacher from this semester works for this thing called Zoo to You. You call them up and you go, hey, I need a wolf for a few hours. And they're like, all right, that'll be $300. And they bring you a fucking wolf. If you need a wolf, call Zoo to You. This movie was shot in California. She's right here in California.
How? So, wait. What if you're like, I need a fucking wolf? And they're like, okay, they bring it over, they unleash it, and it just kills you. Like, how do you get attacked? Then you're like, okay, wolf, fetch.
Then you've got a good story, I guess.
Yeah. It's really, really good practical effects when it rips your throat out.
Yeah, use that shit. Carrie Lip wrote all about that. Also, shitty CG ghosts. They use shitty CG to superimpose a ghost into a window and have her disappear.
I'll forgive CG for a ghost more than an animal.
But
don't put an animal because it's so obvious. A ghost is fake anyway.
But it's still it looked like Tron graphics, and it totally just took everything out of the movie. You could have just had do what they did in Insidious, where they have a spooky person in the mirror in the window, and then they disappear. It's really... I know how to do that effect, and I'm not a filmmaker.
Either that, or just like Inside, how it was just a silhouette of the girl, like we were talking about last episode, and then all of a sudden it's not there. That would be better. Yeah, because you've got this movie that's obviously shot with an HD camera. The Frighteners came out in 1996, people.
Yeah. They pulled it off. They made it work. If you can't make it work in 2015, then don't even try. Just put a person on a white sheet and have them go, ooh.
Beetlejuice.
Yeah, exactly.
Julia's going to kill you when she sees you cut holes in her designer sheath.
But shitty CG ghosts aside, the makeup was also really fucking terrible in this movie. There's a character who's supposed to have some sort of lung disease, so he's pale, but they cake the makeup on so thick that you can literally see the grain in the white makeup on his face.
They just dump a bag of flour over his head?
It looked like that. And then from shot to shot within the scene, the makeup would change. Like, in one scene, the dude was obviously wearing lipstick and eyeliner, and then in the next shot, he's not. There was shitty makeup with no consistency.
No continuity.
Yeah, all these things just took me right out of it. But even if it had good makeup, it would have been polishing turds, because the acting in this movie is on par with a junior high school play.
If you gotta eat a turd, I prefer to have it polished up and at least put a little piece of parsley on it. Garnish it at least, you know. If I'm gonna eat a piece of shit, I want a little fucking cocktail umbrella, fucking parsley, some kind of garnish.
Yeah,
make it go down smooth. At least make it appealing.
Yeah, there was nothing appealing about this, and a lot of stuff happens in the movie that either doesn't connect to anything else or feels shoehorned into the story just to force things to happen. Like, there are random cholos in the desert that steal a guy's car when it would have been way easier to just have the pissed off evil shaman disable the car.
Or he blows a tire.
Yeah, they just wanted to put desert cholos in the movie. And then
Desert cholo.
Yeah, pretty much. And then they keep bringing up this Native American legend that has nothing to do with the rest of the story, other than the fact that there's a Native American character in it.
Oh, that sucks.
And and then they also spend so much time building up the main character's relationship problems, or thinking that he has relationship problems, for you to find out that he doesn't have relationship problems, and there's no bearing on the story anyway.
If you're going to tease the barbed wire bat, you need to use the barbed wire bat.
This movie is an hour and 20 minutes long. And it felt like it was 4 days long because there were just so many loose ends and extra scenes and things that weren't necessary. There is an almost cool nightmare scene that's reminiscent of The Ring, but the problem is that nightmare scenes are supposed to be representative of something, and they're supposed to use symbolism to foreshadow events, and this was just random nightmarish images.
Ugh.
Like, oh, we're making a scary movie. Now, on the positive end, the director of photography didn't know what she was doing. Even with the shitty, the shitty writing and the shitty scenes, the scenes were framed okay.
You gotta find the positive. There's a positive in every movie.
Yeah.
No matter how bad it is, There's one character that's good.
Yeah. Also,
it sounds good.
This
The
movie
fucking
had
director.
this movie had good sound design. There's a part where a guy stumbles out into the desert and screams, but when he opens his mouth, the sound of a telephone ringing comes out, which leads into the next scene where a guy's being woken up by his phone ringing, hearing about what happened to the dude in the desert.
That's awesome.
That's
actually really cool.
And that was like the second scene in the movie.
You're like, okay, this is gonna be
I was
good.
like, okay, this might be worth watching, and then it wasn't.
What's it called again?
It's called Fairlane Road.
Yeah, I saw the fucking image.
I'm going to give it 1 point for good camera work, 1 point for good sound, 1 point for the effort put into the nightmare scene, 1 point for not being found footage, 1 point because this was the director's first movie and I'm feeling generous, but 1 point off for unnecessary loose ends, 1 point off for shitty CG when there were better alternatives, and 20% of a point off for bad acting. For a total of 2.8 out of 10 incestuous Thanksgivings.
Incestuous Thanksgivings. Incestuous Thanksgivings is like it's the kind of holiday when the bird isn't the only thing getting stuffed.
That's right.
Incestuous Thanksgiving.
Aunt Margaret passes you the potatoes and then rubs her hand over yours. Careful, those are hot.
We're not going with the jellied cranberry sauce. We're going with the one with the chunks.
Yeah, that's right. I like my yams candied.
There's more friction that way when you have chunks of cranberry.
God.
This is the worst fucking I mean, it's funny, but it's the most corrupt, disgusting rating system we've ever had.
It might very well be worse than Granny Handjobs.
Yeah. Granny Handjobs.
Granny Handjobs on Thanksgiving.
Incestuous Thanksgivings.
With gravy.
So now, we're going with the good movie.
You haven't done your bad movie yet.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll edit that part out. I forgot.
We don't edit things out when I forget them.
You make me do extra work, I'm going to protect myself. Okay. My bad movie of the week. 2012. Called Sushi Girl. You ever heard of this?
Yes. I have seen this.
You've seen it?
Yes. It is not good.
Well, it's very disappointing because with the cast that it has, it should be amazing.
And it has a good build up for. Well, I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah. Fuck. The opening soundtrack and credits was like a fucking throwback to 70s exploitation.
Yep.
Kind of like a Tarantino movie.
Yeah, very much.
You know, like how he's got that obsession. The director who did this was kind of in the same vein. Written and directed by Kern Saxton. I'm not really sure.
Byron
how you
Saxton?
pronounce it. Yeah, something like that. Starring the great Tony Todd, a.k.a. the fucking Candyman. Noah Hathaway, who was the kid from the Never-Ending Story.
Yep. Wow, it's two mentions of the Never-Ending Story in one show.
James Duvall, who is the oldest son of Randy Quaid in Independence Day.
Yeah, and he's in all the...
and he's Mod John in the SLC Punk.
Yeah, he's in all the like Doom Generation and all that guy's movies too.
Yep.
He was in May.
He's in a bunch of movies, featuring cameos from Danny Trejo, Mark Hamill, Jeff Fahey, Michael Biehn, and Stryker from Loveline.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot Mark Hamill was in that.
He's the dorky, fat, gayish kind of guy with the long hair.
Yeah, and he's awesome. He's like the only awesome
He's
thing
the only
in that.
great acting job, How is that for a fucking ensemble cast?
Yeah.
If you put that cast together and you have a bad movie...
that should be dynamite.
Yes, it should be good, so... Fish, who's Hathaway, has spent 6 years in jail. 6 years alone. 6 years keeping his mouth shut about the robbery and the other men involved. The night he's released, the 4 men he protected with silence celebrate his freedom with a congratulatory dinner. The meal is a lavish array of sushi served off the naked body of a beautiful young woman. Pretty sweet, right?
That's a good setup.
Well, the sushi girl seems catatonic, trying to ignore everything in the room, even if things become dangerous. Sure enough, the 4 unwieldy thieves can't help but open up old wounds in an attempt to find their missing loot. Huge, promising cast. I thought I would love it from the opening credits. It was boring as fuck.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It could not hold my attention. It was that bad.
Yeah, they set it up really well in like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it is just like, all right, where's this going?
I give it like 10, 15 minutes, and then finally I was like, what? You know, it just lost me. It was so dull, I had to split it in 2 sittings.
Wow.
I couldn't even manage to sit through it for one day. When I give a bad review, even if I know the movie's bad, I always watch the whole thing.
Finish it, right.
Gotta be fair.
Yeah.
Sometimes the last half can save you.
Yeah.
Not this one. The problem is that it's just really bad writing. The screenplay.
Yeah, you
all
can
these
only do
actors,
so much that the framework sucks.
Yeah. All these actors could not save it because of the fucking terrible screenplay. There's a twist that is very predictable.
Especially because of the title of the movie.
Yes.
Like... that's like, I mean, everyone's seen The Sixth Sense, so I'm not giving anything away. But like, if they called the movie Bruce Willis is Dead,
yeah, Sushi Girl,
yeah,
what's gonna happen?
Oh.
She's just in there. It's fucking stupid. It really is.
Yep.
And when I was looking at it, so I went on there. I looked at the IMDb. I looked at the directors and stuff. I looked at the message board, seeing what other people were writing about it, and they're saying this is a ripoff of Quentin Tarantino. I'm like, no, it's not. Quentin Tarantino's a ripoff of all the 70s exploitation movies.
Everything that was made using cocaine is
it's
what
the
Quentin
same
Tarantino's
thing.
a ripoff of.
Here's the difference. It's not a ripoff of Quentin Tarantino. This is someone that likes the same things as Quentin Tarantino and is a fan of them, but has no idea what the fuck they're doing, and tries to make it themselves.
Yeah. It's like people say House of a Thousand Corpses is a ripoff of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No,
it's not. It's a genre piece.
Yeah. And this is that. It's an exploitation movie, but it's terribly done.
Yeah.
It's just the writing. The fault is in the fucking writing. Yeah. I'm not going to talk a lot about the plot. You already kind of talked about, the sushi girl, comes around. That's why it's named that.
And the direction on it, I remember it being okay. Like, the camera work was good.
Yeah, everything. The actors even. Tony Todd is way over the top. But that's what Tony Todd does.
Yeah, that's him.
It's him. Yeah. You cast him in that role, you know what you're getting. Yeah. I love Tony Todd.
Yeah.
Candyman is amazing.
Yeah.
First Candyman creeped me the fuck out when I was a little kid.
With the bees.
Yes. Be my victim.
Fucking Tony Todd. No one else could have pulled that off.
Yeah, no, he did very good. So, I'm not going to talk a lot about a plot, like I said, because if you want to watch it, if you love exploitation, if you like Tarantino, you might like it.
Or you should just watch a Tarantino movie.
You should probably just watch, like, The Hateful Eight or something like that. A Tarantino movie you might not have seen.
Yeah. Go watch
Killing Zoe. Go watch Killing Zoe. If you like Pulp Fiction, those kind of movies, Reservoir Dogs, and you haven't seen Killing Zoe, watch that instead. But IMDb gives this one 6.0. I would say a flat 4. 4 out of 10. And that's a generous 4 out of 10. Wow. I only give it 4 because of the people that are in it. That's the only reason I would even watch it. Yeah. So, if it wasn't them and I started watching it, it would have been off way before. I wouldn't have tried to struggle through it.
Incestuous Thanksgivings.
4 out of 10 incestuous Thanksgivings. Grandpa doesn't just have his fist in the turkey. He's got his fist in you as well.
Ouch. Yeah, I completely agree with your summation of that. The cast was excellent and couldn't save it. And that's a hard feat. Yeah,
so that's my bad movie of the week. What you got for your good movie?
My good movie is one that I expected to be my bad movie. And in the first 5 minutes of it, I really thought it was going to be my bad movie, and then it turned around on me. It's a 2015 psychological horror meets romantic comedy meets buddy film called They Look Like People.
I just saw that it just got added to Netflix, right? It's brand new to Netflix. I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, it's directed by a guy named Perry Blackshear, also his first feature film. And the plot line is, while visiting his childhood friend Christian in New York City, Wyatt begins receiving mysterious phone calls that warn him of a pending supernatural invasion. These messages tell him that a battle is coming where he will have to fight and kill creatures that look like normal people but are not, including ones that look like his friends. Unsure if he's losing his mind, Wyatt begins exhibiting increasingly erratic behavior. Christian finds out about the apparent delusions and tries to help Wyatt, even while his own life and relationships are falling apart, and slowly gets drawn into Wyatt's madness. But is it truly madness? Dun dun dun!
Horror news?
Serious groundhog.
Serious squirrel? Horror news?
This movie was it had that very dry indie style of filmmaking, like Excision. Where
I love Excision.
Yeah. So it had that whole, how that style of filmmaking really punctuates awkwardness.
Yeah.
And this movie had a lot of that.
I love awkward.
Yeah.
That's why one of my favorite movies, it's not a horror movie, but have you ever seen Happiness?
Yeah.
I love
the
that
opening scene for that movie is
just the whole
solid gold.
The characters.
Yeah. And the
opening scene with
what's
what's his name? Yeah. With the fucking dog. Yeah. We're not gonna spoil Happiness. You guys like some crazy fucking shit, check out Happiness.
Yeah, Happiness is a truly fucked up movie.
Yes. Fucked up.
Yeah. This movie is done in that style. Sometimes it felt like there was awkwardness just for the sake of awkwardness, but it was...
I hate that. I hate when they're trying to make it like that. It needs to be natural.
Yeah. But it had a slow build and enough weird shit happened in between to keep it intriguing. Like, it wasn't necessarily like big action. It was like, why is this guy taping a knife to the bottom of the table? What's happening? He's just at his friend's house right now. What's up? Is he a serial killer? Like, what's going on? This is big for me. Likeable, relatable, realistic characters they take time to develop. The two main characters feel like actual best friends. Christian's girlfriend is really cool and it's obvious why he likes her, and every time he does something insecure that damages the relationship, I actually had like an emotional reaction where I was like, she's into you, dude, stop fucking things up.
Yeah.
I actually felt like these people were people that I would actually want to hang out with.
Yeah,
great. There were no unlikable characters. There were no sarcastic for the sake of sarcastic characters.
We have said that that's the fault of new horror movies. Mm. There's no likable characters. Yeah. You hate everyone, so you don't care if they're going to die. Developing these kind of characters that you feel bad for. We've all been there where we say that stupid thing to the fucking girl when we're fucking a teenager, you know? And that's so much more relatable. It makes everything so much better.
Yeah,
so.
Like, there's a part, and this isn't giving away too much, but this is just an example of like how good these characters are. Christian's girlfriend, I think her name was Mara. Like they established that she does jujitsu early in the movie. Like it's through a period of flirtation. And so Wyatt, who's the guy who's may or may not be going crazy throughout the movie, he does something to really weird her out, and then he goes and finds her later and tries to apologize, but he just gets even weirder. And finally, she's like, "Dude, like if you don't back off me, I'm gonna hurt you." And he like moves on her, but not because he wants to be threatening, but just because he's crazy and he doesn't know what to do. And she just fucking hauls off and decks him right in the face. And he's like, and he goes down, and she's like way smaller than him. And then like for a second, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up some more." And then she realizes that she punched the dude in the face, and she's like, "Oh shit, I'm really sorry. Are you okay?"
Yeah.
And he's like down on the ground, and she's like, "This guy's crazy, so I don't want to like touch him or really do anything, but I'm also concerned because I'm not a shitty human being."
Yeah.
And you can see in Wyatt's body language that he gets that, and even while he's on the ground bleeding from his nose, he gives a thumbs up. Like it's just these little things that make the characters, that make you invested in the character.
Yeah. That really does make a difference, you know, when you can relate to them, you can kind of see that as being a real person.
Yeah.
Instead of just like, hey, I'm random jock douche number one. And
instead of the characters being there to push the plot along, the characters are there to interact with the plot.
That's good.
And it makes you give a shit about them. Something else that's really fucking cool about this movie is it has no score. There's no music to it. And normally that would bother me. Normally when I see that, I think it's lazy filmmaking.
The movie has to be fucking amazing for me to...
What they do instead is they take mundane sounds and they focus in on them to really add to like the tension and weirdness of the scene, like with
or stepping on something and breaking it.
Yeah, or like early on in the movie, Wyatt's having a dream about his girlfriend turning into one of these supernatural creatures, and instead of using like a swelling of strings or a synth line or something to build it up, the clock ticking just gets louder and louder and louder.
So
and louder.
Is there supernatural things to this movie, or is it just...
I don't want to give that away.
Okay.
That's the big thing about it.
Okay.
And I'll talk about that in a second. There are special effects in it, and there's some CG, but it's all just really, really subtle minor touches. Like
that's good, yeah.
Like they use it to like make someone's mouth look weird.
Yeah.
Great tension in the final scene. This movie was a really good example of no gimmick psychological horror that focuses on storytelling and character development over the frills. The main point of the movie was really, really obvious about halfway through, though. Like,
Yeah.
any twist was given.
Sometimes that happens. You can't avoid it.
Yeah,
so.
the writer was also the director. He could have used more red herrings to throw us off or even lead us to expect a big twist.
Or like an assistant.
Yeah. But
someone to polish it up.
This is all just a sign of inexperience, though. Clearly, this is the guy's first movie. Ultimately, also, the story showed a very cursory understanding of mental illness. Like, he should have done a little bit more research, maybe referred to a psychologist or something like that. Yeah. And also, at the end, it kind of just ended. Like, there wasn't any real feeling of closure. It was just like, oh, here's the ending.
Yeah.
But, on
unfortunate.
The whole, for a first-effort film, I've seen much worse. Blackshear shows a lot of promise as a director. Maybe he should work with other writers. His sound designer definitely deserves an award. And every performance in this film was great and made up for any holes in the writing by bringing relatability to all the characters.
Cool. Well, it's kind of like even if the writing has some holes, if the characters are so likable and believable, it's not just the actors. Yeah. It has to be a little bit of the writing. Well,
there's a scene where, like, because Wyatt and Christian hadn't seen each other in, like, 10 years, and they're in Christian's living room getting drunk and, like, talking about things that they used to do when they were kids. And Wyatt was like, hey, remember when we used to play blobbies? And Christian was like, yeah, I remember that. That was kind of stupid. And Wyatt's like, yeah, that was kind of stupid. And Christian's like, so are we going to go out? Are we going to go clubbing? And Wyatt's like, yeah, I guess so. And then it cuts away, and they're immediately drunk in the living room with comforters over their head, going, blobbies, like giant amoebas, and like bouncing off of each other.
That's awesome.
Like, these guys feel like bros.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Straight up. So I'm going to give the movie 1 point for using CG the right way, 2 points for awesome sound design, 4 points for a cast full of awesome characters that you give a damn about, 3 points for some genuinely funny scenes, 1 point off for predictability, 1 point off for getting a C in abnormal psychology and acting like it got an A.
A lot of math.
And 80% of a point off for a big building to a blah ending for 7.2 out of 10.
It's pretty good.
Incestuous Thanksgivings.
I keep forgetting what it is. And then you say it, and it makes me lose it. Incestuous Thanksgivings. When Grandpa's not just slicing up the pumpkin pie, he's touching your pie. It gets worse and worse. My good movie. You talked a lot about last week about talking about stuff and not delivering, you know? Talking about it and not showing it.
Right.
I can't remember the term you used.
Show, don't tell.
Show, don't tell.
Yeah.
I'm going to give an example of something. This is the way when you don't have the budget and you can tease it and you can talk about it and you make it mean something.
Okay.
Sometimes you don't have to show everything. So, 2008, director Bruce McDonald, based on the book by Tony Burgess, Pontypool.
I fucking love that movie.
You seen it?
Great movie.
Awesome.
Yeah, great movie.
I just saw it for the first time.
Yeah. Real good movie.
Yeah. And it's like that, so. Starring Stephen McHattie as radio host Grant Mazzy. It's limited to storytelling. It takes place in a fucking radio station. Just in a studio.
Entirely, yeah.
Yeah. Grant Mazzy is a likable douchebag radio host, kind of like Howard Stern.
Yeah. Shock jock.
Yeah. He starts at a small station in Pontypool, Ontario, Canada, and is ruffling the feathers of the higher-ups from the beginning of the movie. He has a great sense of humor. Calls began coming in for a bunch of weird shit. All going on in this one little town.
Yeah.
And it's all just calls on the radio and his facial reactions.
Yeah.
He's a fucking great actor.
And that's, if you're gonna...
So good.
If you're gonna tell instead of show, you need to have a good actor.
Not just that, but the way it's done.
Yeah.
The sound is good. Everything is the sound design and the vibe. The vibe of the movie means so much.
Right.
And it is very, very well done. So, first, there's a little hostage situation going on and a big riot at a doctor's office. People going crazy. Instead of shitty effects, they leave a lot to your imagination.
Which is smart.
Yeah. Because I saw these images in my head like, oh, this is crazy.
Yeah. And the people calling in, I remember them all being very good voice actors, too, to, like, sell it.
Yep. It reminds me of radio theater.
Yeah, very much so.
So, it's revealed that a virus is turning people into kind of living zombies that travel in packs, described as sort of like a pack of wolves or piranhas ripping the flesh of others. There's not a lot of visual action, but it's very tense and very well acted. I'm a big fan of limited storytelling, like I said before. Primarily, the plot is developed in a single location. It's almost like the movie The Crazies combined with 28 Days Later, but the virus is instead transmitted through speech, not through biting.
That's right.
Very, very unique.
And they would start like just saying random words as they got infected.
Yeah, and they'd say the word over. Like certain words of the English language are infected.
Yeah, and they'd like
say it
stick on them.
Like water, you know, like something like that.
Yeah.
Some weird fucking word, no, not related to anything.
Yeah.
Really, really innovative concept.
Yeah.
You know?
I could see this movie being done as a stage play and working really well.
Yeah, for sure. It's very well executed on such a small budget. I'm a huge fan of gore and nudity and craziness and fucking ripping and tearing and like
rending of flesh.
Yeah, vomit gore trilogy, regurgitating sacrifice, puking on each other,
puking into buttholes,
that kind of stuff. Like, I like that kind of stuff. Call me what you will, but I like a lot of gore, ripping of fucking flesh, people's arms, legs getting cut off, tongues removed, eyes removed. You're not going to get much of that.
None of that.
You're not going to get much of that, but it's so well executed that I can do without it.
Nice.
And that says a lot for me because you know how I am?
Yeah.
I like movies like Reanimator.
Yeah, you're very
Serbian
the visual aspect of it. Yeah.
I want some good fucking shit visually, but this movie, I watched it, I was glued in.
Yeah.
Glued in.
Yeah, it's a real riveting story and very, very well executed.
It's still on Netflix. Yeah. It's been on Netflix for years.
I saw it there like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I've always seen it and I've always passed over it.
Yeah. I've gone back and watched it a couple times actually.
I had never heard of it, believe it or not, and I gave it a chance. I was so glad I did. And all you guys, if you're listening to this, give it a chance. Pawnee Pool.
It's worth it.
It is very worth it. So, although it does deliver on some gore later in the movie, there is a little bit of gore and effects. Very minimal. IMDb gives it 6.7.
We can do better than that.
It's better than that. It's not the best movie ever. It does have its shortcomings. Like you said, not a lot of visual shit, but I'm going to concur with you with what you said about your good movie. I'm giving it 7.2. Incestuous Thanksgivings. That was much more disturbing than it should have been.
That was the sound of fingering a turkey.
So, that's my good movie.
All right.
What would you give it?
I agree with your assessment. I might even go as far as to give it an 8 because the performances were so good.
Yeah.
I'm
glad you've seen it. Like,
yeah. The scene with the girl in the sound booth repeating the words.
Yeah. And banging your head against the fucking glass door.
Super intense.
Yeah, it does get super intense. And then them, like, fucking in the thing, like... Yeah. We're not going to give away a lot, because you guys need to see it.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Really good. And what I want to know is, how can a guy get hired to be a morning DJ in Pawnee Pool, Ontario, which is... I looked it up, it's got, like, 1,000 people or something.
They need Post Mortem on their morning commutes.
This is your Post Mortem traffic report. Let's go to Dom in our Radio 10 helicopter. How you doing, Dom? How's the traffic looking out there?
There's cars out here, motherfuckers.
I'm tired of these motherfucking cars on this motherfucking highway. And we're back.
Now you're gonna fuck with people. You're like, did I miss the commercial? Did I miss the awesome Senkel commercial?
All right.
Or the even more awesome Post-Mortem beg for people to go like things.
Maybe we'll have a new sponsor this week. I don't know, because at the time of recording, maybe it's confirmed, maybe it's not. Maybe you have to wait till next week. We're the only show that will tease a sponsor.
That's right.
Tune in next week. We might have a new commercial.
Well, our commercials are pretty good.
So. They are, so we'll be back after this. Hi! It's us. We're not a sponsor. We have no sponsor this week, so
we're self-sponsoring.
We're masturbating ourselves all over your ears. We're coming in your ear pussy.
Sponsoring off.
So, there's something really important we need to talk about.
And it's puppies.
It's not puppies. Look, we're going to keep this to a minimum.
Okay.
This is a short commercial.
Tangent commercials.
No tangent in the commercial.
Do you know about tangents?
So, we need your help. We need you to rate us, review us, and share this podcast with your friends.
If you listen,
your enemies. Share it with your enemies.
Share it with people you hate. Punish them with our voices.
Make them listen to it. Yeah. And also, give us a 5-star rating on iTunes, Stitcher. Subscribe to us on iTunes, YouTube.
Like it on YouTube.
SoundCloud.
Follow us on Twitter. We only have like 3 Twitter followers right now.
Because we don't ever have a tweet. What matters most is getting this out into more ear holes. We need your help for that.
Letting people know about it.
So also, if you're our friend or our follower on the Facebook there, make sure you click the notifications and get first, because we're not going to pay for those ads, so you see everything. You gotta work for it.
Yeah, click share.
We give you this shit for free.
And if you want to hear more about Doug Jones, because really that's what this is all about, click that share.
All right, well, this has went on for way too long, and we appreciate you listening to Post Mortem. And we're back with the top 5 kids. The children are the future.
Teach them well and let them lead the way.
Teach the children well, and you can't tell.
We should record a song and sell it and give all the money to children.
Yeah.
And by children, I mean us.
We're going to donate all the profits of the Post Mortem compilation CD to the children that are victims of incestuous Thanksgiving.
That's right. It's an epidemic level problem.
We're going to fucking hell. We're going to travel back one episode to go to hell. All right, so we're going top 5 kids.
That's right.
Top 5 kids with incestuous Thanksgiving as the rating system. That's not the sound of a turkey. That's the sound of your stepfather. All right.
Pass me some of that relish, Grandma.
All right. Give me your number 5 so I can stop laughing.
My number 5 is Dennis. No, it's not.
No. Kids that aren't Dennis.
And my number 5 is the Frog Brothers from The Lost Boys.
All right. On my honorable mention, love me some Frog Brothers.
They were the characters that actually wrote me into that movie the first time I saw it.
They're the ones that make that movie rewatchable to me.
For sure.
You got Queefer.
Yeah.
Queefer Sutherland.
The vampires are cool. There's Queefer. There's Alex Winter as a vampire.
Grandpa is awesome.
Grandpa's
awesome.
You
got Bill as a vampire too. Yeah. Don't refer to him as Alex Winter.
And Corey Haim is Corey Haim, and Jason Patrick played his brother. Like they were the cool guys in the movie. Corey Haim shirts.
not to go on a tangent, but it kind of is going on a tangent. Have you ever seen the movie Freaked with Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Freaked.
Yeah, it's an awesome movie.
So awesome.
Yeah, I think he produced that movie actually.
ESS, everything except shoes or whatever it's called.
I had a
William Sadler.
I had a DVD that was Freaked and Nothing But Trouble. Like on
That's
the same
awesome.
DVD.
Nothing But Trouble is awesome.
I don't have it anymore, but it was one of those like $5 Walmart things.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. I think I lost it in a move or something. But anyway, the Frog Brothers. Corey Feldman and the other guy. I don't know who the other guy is. But it doesn't matter because Corey Feldman is
Corey Feldman and you, other guy.
They were the white trash kids who hung out in the comic book store, but they knew everything there is to know about hunting vampires from reading comic books. And they were really the unsung heroes of the Lost Boys.
Yeah, they were. And if you're listening to this and you are the other Frog Brother, we'd like to have you as our guest here on Post Mortem.
We'd like to know what your name is.
Other Frog Brother.
Because I can't be bothered to go to IMDb right now.
that's what it says in the credits. Other
Frog Brother. Other Frog Brother in parentheses. Don't be bothered to go to IMDb.
My number 5. You ever seen Found?
No.
You gotta check out this movie Found, okay? So this little kid, Marty, obsessed with horror movies. One day, goes in his brother's room, because his brother likes horror movies.
Didn't you review this movie once?
No, I did not review it. I think I have talked about it, and maybe our supporting characters, what was it called? Minor characters episode. I think maybe it was that one.
Okay.
I have talked about it in previous podcasts, but I did not review it. Marty, obsessed with horror movies, goes in his brother's room, finds a bowling ball bat. In it, a severed head. His brother's a serial killer. This movie goes to dark, dark places.
Cool.
It is amazing. Nice. I think it's 2012, maybe 13.
Okay.
I loved Found. It was when I saw it, I think it might have been my favorite movie of that year.
Wow.
that good.
I'll have to hunt that down.
You have to check it out. And that movie Headless was based. I told you about the other movie Headless.
Yeah.
Was he found a VHS tape of Headless in the movie and he watches it.
That's cool.
And then they based a whole movie based on this fake movie that was in this other movie, which is really cool. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that kind of shit. So found this
like
kid.
how on Ernest Saves Christmas they were making Christmas Sleigh and then they made Christmas Sleigh with Bill Goldberg.
That's not the same thing at all. Anyways, this kid knows his big brother's a serial killer because guess what? The head changes in the bowling ball bag. That's where he keeps the recent head.
Oh, it's like different heads?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's getting bullied. So what does he do? Talks to his brother about it. Then he comes to his brother's room one day. He finds the fucking head of the bully.
Nice.
In the bowling bag.
That's a good brother. It's a good serial killer brother.
But this movie, at that point, that's a sweet story.
Uh-huh.
Not so sweet by the end of it.
Nice.
Leave a sour taste in your mouth. And that's why I fucking love this movie Found. That's why Marty is my number 5.
Awesome. My number 4, it's another double whammy. Same movie. Both the bus victims and Sam from Trick or Treat.
Okay. I love me some Sam.
Yeah, Sam's awesome. He doesn't, I mean, he doesn't say anything because he's just a weird little fucking demon
Scarecrow
kid in
guy.
costume.
Yeah.
But he's scary. And I didn't realize until I went to Universal Halloween Horror Nights how scary it is. Something that's only your waist height running at you.
Yeah.
There was this Halloween maze there based on the movie Halloween. And there was basically Sam was basically in the maze. It was the same costume as Sam, but it was more of a pumpkin style head. And I don't know if it was kids or midgets in the costume, but they come running at you and then they bounce back. And that shit is scary. And when you think about Sam tormenting the people in that movie and just having someone that much smaller than you, like you can't really see him coming, especially when you're tall.
It's kind of like the movie Kids, with the guys on the skateboard, and he says, I have no legs.
I have no legs.
I have no legs.
It's like the only good part of that movie.
No, Kids is awesome. What are you talking about?
I didn't like Kids. I
love Kids.
But
Gummo's good too. I like Harmony Korine. And Larry Clark. Good movies. Bully is the best one.
I haven't seen that one.
You gotta see some Bully. It's not horror. We're spending way too much time on things that are related to the top 5, but Bully, it's based on a true story. Because I was watching Forensic Files the other day. I never knew it was based on a true story. I was watching Forensic Files. It's the fucking case from this movie Bully, and then they talk about it was developed into a Hollywood movie, and it shows a little cover of Bully. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wow.
I had no idea it was based on a real story.
Nice. I didn't know Harmony Korine made
You ever seen App Pupil?
Yeah.
Brad Renfro, the kid from that?
Yeah.
He's the main character of this one. Yeah.
Cool. I'll check
it's
that
good.
out.
Check it out. Anyways.
So yeah, number 4, Sam from Trick or Treat. little burlap clad, mass headed creepy kid.
My number 4 is Tommy Jarvis. Tommy Jarvis.
Great.
From
Great
Friday the
character.
13th.
He's in my honorable mentions.
He's a mask maker, and then he does develop into, in Jason Lives, my favorite Friday the 13th, a badass.
Well, actually, though, Friday the 13th part 4 is where they introduce him as Corey Feldman, right?
Yeah.
That's my favorite Friday the 13th movie.
Die! And my favorite is Jason Lives, where he comes out, Jason walks like 007 and slices his shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good intro.
Bends a cop in half. I love that fucking movie. I've seen it more than all the other ones, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah.
I've seen Jason X more than all the other ones.
Really?
Yeah,
Jason X?
It's my go-to because it's so silly.
It is very silly.
If I'm depressed, I'll throw in Jason X or Freddy vs. Jason. Because both of those movies are just...
I like
comedies.
Freddy vs. Jason much more than Jason X.
Jason X has some great kills, though.
It is, but Freddy vs. Jason, a lot of people shit on it. I still like it.
I like it a lot, yeah.
Actually, I showed it to... How long have I been in this house? Like a year and a half?
Yeah, just about.
So I showed it to my daughters at my previous house.
Okay.
So it must have been like 2.5 years ago. And they're 7 and 4 now, so they were probably like 2 and 5, and they loved it. I showed them a version that played on TNT.
Okay.
Like I DVR'd it.
Yeah.
So I had no titties or sex or anything like that, but it was still a scary movie.
Yeah, it's more like an action movie at that point.
They love it.
Nice.
They love that shit.
Yeah, those movies are good. Like you know how they say marijuana is a gateway drug. Those are like good gateway horror movies.
Yeah, and Annabelle, when she was 2, I bought her a costume of like Minnie Mouse or something like that, but she wanted my Jason costume. She was not satisfied with Minnie Mouse, She needs the hockey mask and the machete.
That's awesome. That's definitely
Check out my
your child.
Instagram at JDH138. You can see the picture of her.
That's cool. So we're at number 3?
Number 3.
My number 3 is Takuya from Visitor Q.
Visitor Q making its 3rd appearance on the podcast.
It's more of an exploitation than a horror movie, but it has some horror elements to it.
There's a line, and once you cross it, it's accessible for this podcast.
Yes. And I would put Visitor Q in my top 20 horror movies.
Wow.
And it's fucked up. It's Serbian film fucked up.
Yeah, it is really fucked up, yeah.
And Takuya is the son in the family.
I don't know why I think about Serbian film, and I put it on my top 100. We're going to come out with our top 100 soon. I did not put Visitor Q on it at all in my top 100. I just don't think it... when I think of horror movies, it didn't pop up in my brain.
Gotcha.
Which, if you think about it, it's horrific.
Yeah. Visitor Q is one of my litmus test movies. When I meet someone new and they're like, oh, I'm into horror movies, I show them that movie, and I see how they respond. I'm like, if you can handle this, and if you can laugh at the necrophilia scene...
Mine is Regurgitated Sacrifice.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't own a copy of that, but I have recommended people go find it, and...
My next goal for next guest that I'm going to try to get to, I just added him on Facebook, he's been liking some of my stuff, is Lucifer Valentine.
Really?
Who made Regurgitated Sacrifice.
That dude's super elusive. Like, I've read about him online. Like, he doesn't do a lot of stuff, like, with the public.
He added me as Israel.
Who?
Don't tell anybody. It's a secret.
That's awesome.
So hopefully, in a future episode, we can get him.
Cool.
So
Awesome.
All right.
So yeah, Takuya in Visitor Q. He's the son in the family, and he is. Your dog's making weird noises. He's bullied at school. The bullies beat the shit out of him. Make him shit in front of them. Do all kinds of fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
And then he goes home and he takes out his frustration on his mother by beating the shit out of his mother. And as the movie progresses, you find out just how fucked up this kid is because he has this racket that he beats his mom with. And at one point, he goes up to his room, and he has a closet full of different rackets that he uses. Yeah. And you notice, like, his mom has weird bruises on her, and you see the different rackets, and, like, you can put it together, which rackets he used on his mom.
The dad is my favorite character.
Yeah, that guy's fucked up.
So...
yeah, Takuya, Visitor Q.
You know, you pointed it out. My dog making some strange sounds over there.
Yeah.
You know, I apologize if you guys are hearing my dog breathe and die over there, but he has a massive tumor on his stomach, and I've had him for like almost 10 years now. So we'll allow him in here.
Yeah, yeah. Not like
he's allowed to.
The kids come in and make noise. We beat the shit out of him. But the dog can do whatever he wants.
The dog can do what he wants because the kids aren't going anywhere. Or are they?
Dun dun dun.
Sensuous Thanksgivings.
You're going to Grandma's house for Thanksgiving. That's where you're going.
All right, my number 3 is one of the go-tos. Karen from Night of the Living Dead.
The
little girl, Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah, she's like the quintessential horror kid.
With a trowel. Yeah. You got a pillow over there you're almost sitting on that has her face on it. One of the little ones.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I think it's behind my back.
That's the Exorcist one. But, anyways, killing her mom.
Yeah?
She's going to be okay. Classic.
Yeah, totally classic kid. She predates Damien, so
yeah.
Like I would.
She
say,
might be the first child horror actor,
like horror icon. Yeah. I'm sure there were kids in horror movies before, but like
but that is a main
it's
focus.
Iconic. Yeah. My number 2 is probably the closest thing to a really mainstream character on my list, and it's Sadako or Samara from Ringu or The Ring.
Okay,
that character, I think she's really important. Because she sort of defined a certain horror image for the early 2000s.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people will shit on, as of current day, will shit on The Ring. Or Ringu.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
It's still a good movie.
It still is, and it is terrifying when you see those first... Even the remake, the American remake, that's one of the only ones where, like... We're talking about these American remakes of Inside, Martyrs, all this shit that's pissing me off.
Yeah, The Ring worked. The Grudge actually kind of worked, too.
I didn't like The Grudge.
No. I mean, Ju-on was much better, but I thought The Ring. Well, I mean, Gore Verbinski made The Ring, and he's a fantastic director. So if anyone's going to remake a movie and make it work, it's that guy.
I just had a little bit of a hard on for Naomi Watts.
Oh yeah. I mean, I even saw the fucking King Kong remake with her in it because she's hot. And the video in The Ring, if you get the DVD, you can actually find in the Easter eggs just the full video that they watch, which is the rapid fire images.
Oh, really?
And that thing's real fucking cool. And it actually does tell Samara's entire story from The Ring and The Ring 2.
That's cool.
Just through images and symbolism. My bad review, what they tried to do with the nightmare scene and failed because the director didn't understand symbolism.
Yeah. You gotta tease it. Tease it. My number 2, like you said, that was your most iconic or mainstream.
Yeah.
My number 2 is the most iconic. Not just yours. The most iconic and mainstream character ever that's a kid.
Okay.
Reagan.
Oh, yeah,
The
sure.
Exorcist.
Yeah, she's the first on my honorable mentions.
I fucking love The Exorcist. I mean, you can't... If you look at all these lists online of the top horror movies, it's usually number 1, if not number 2 or 3.
It belongs there.
It does belong there. It holds up, too.
Yeah, it does.
Holds up. The fucking rats in the attic and everything.
The sounds, the sound design for that movie is just classic sound design. And Linda Blair, how old? She was like 10 when she made that movie.
Yeah.
And she was good.
She did so good.
I guess I saw an interview thing where she didn't understand that necessarily that she was playing a demonically possessed child. She just understood that she was playing a monster, and they basically told her, like Frankenstein or something. But just what she channeled was so good and so creepy.
I just actually showed David Repossessed.
Yeah, he mentioned that.
That's funny. And the thing is about Linda Blair as Regan in The Exorcist is you think about child actors. There's a lot of child actors who've done a lot of movies. Mm-hmm. That might be the best performance by a child actor.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Not
just horror. Anything.
Yeah, at all, period. Yeah, I mean, that... Wasn't The Exorcist one of the first horror movies to win like a lot of mainstream awards too?
I think so, yeah.
And it deserves every single one of them.
Yeah.
It's just in terms of filmmaking, it's just a good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill Friedkin, the director, was batshit crazy,
yeah.
beating up his cast and actually bringing in air conditioners to make the room freezing cold and all that. But it worked, and it made a convincing movie.
He's a great director.
Yeah.
I just actually gave you a movie called Killer Joe, remember?
I haven't watched it yet.
You haven't watched it yet?
I'm probably going to watch it tonight.
If you guys have watched it, you're probably going to laugh right now when you say, Killer Joe. Freaking. And Bug. Bug is a good one. You seen that?
No.
That's a good one, too. Okay,
yeah, I saw...
give that one, too. But
I remember when Bug
Killer Joe, there's this scene. When you see it, you will know why I gave you that movie.
Okay.
A certain scene. Matthew McConaughey is a fucking beast.
Yeah.
He's a great actor.
He is.
So...
I'm actually before I came here tonight, I looked at that and I was like, I'm gonna watch that movie when I get home tonight.
You need to.
Yeah.
There's some merkins. There's merkin to be had.
Some merkins.
There's a merkin.
Okay, cool.
Merkin or two.
Nice.
What's your number 1?
My number 1 is Baby Selwyn from Dead Alive.
My number 1 is also the zombie baby. Dead Alive.
Yes.
Crossover on number 1. High five.
High five.
High five, yes.
I actually didn't know that he had a name.
I didn't either.
I looked up I looked up something on him because I wanted to see how they, if it was a midget or a kid or whatever in the costume, and I couldn't find that.
It's a puppet, right?
It's a little bit of everything. Because
Okay.
there's a part where he's running around, and I couldn't figure out
that's
if that was a midget or a kid. Like in Child's Play when they would put a midget in the Chucky costume and film it from overhead. But yeah, his name was Baby Selwyn.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
but that's my number 1 as well. I love fucking Dead Alive.
Yeah. That movie was probably my introduction into really, truly gory horror movies.
Yeah. And Peter Jackson is so far downhill. I wish Peter Jackson and Sam Raimi would come back together and direct the best horror movie ever. You know what I mean?
Apparently,
both of them went way off the rails.
Apparently, making the last 2 Hobbit movies kind of broke Peter Jackson's soul. Like, it was a miserable experience. He hated doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that he takes some time off and then goes back to his roots.
Yeah. Fuck
movies
Dead
like
Alive,
Bad Taste and Dead
Bad
Alive,
Taste,
they're classic. And he
good
was hilarious
shit.
in Bad Taste.
Meet the Feebles.
Yeah, Meet the Feebles was awesome. Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah, bad taste.
Zombie baby.
The
born,
fucking belt around his head and shit.
I'm a Derek, and Derek's never quits. Baby Sullen's just a great concept. He's the unholy spawn of zombies.
I did not
each
think
other.
that's what you were going to say right now.
Yeah? You thought I was going to say Dennis?
No. I warned you about Dennis.
Yeah.
Dennis cannot be on the list.
Right.
Top 5 kids that are not Dennis.
Yeah, but I've broken that rule before.
I know
forgotten
you
that
have.
rule,
I kind of half expected it, but I didn't expect crossover on number 1. That's the only crossover we've had.
Yeah. Nope.
Pretty awesome.
I put Dennis in a special category, actually. We have our top 5, and we have our honorable mentions, and then we have our goes without mentions.
Goes without mentions.
And Dennis is actually on my list as 0. Because he is the singularity.
He's 0?
He is the singularity of awesome kids in movies.
That should be Regan also, you know.
Yeah, that's but she's iconic. Not everyone knows who Dennis is. Anyone can see a picture of Reagan and go, "Oh, that's from The Exorcist." Mm-hmm. But if you show non-horror fans a picture of Dennis, they'll be like, "Who's this fucking blonde kid with a mullet?"
They're like, "I'll donate. I'll donate some money to the cause."
So actually, I was reading about what Dennis is doing now because he hasn't done much since. Apparently, he has devoted his life to ballet. And he is the top dancer in this like giant Colorado ballet company, and he's doing this thing where he's teaching people martial arts, but he's teaching people martial arts mixed with ballet to improve their balance and agility. And apparently, it's really working. And did you see Black Swan?
Yes, I've seen Black Swan.
And how they portray ballet as being super hardcore.
Yeah,
like actual ballet. I fucked ballet dancers. Like, I know what they go through.
Do they do that little twirl move while they're on top of you?
I tried. It didn't happen.
Did they do the jump with the splits?
Yes.
And then land on you?
Yes, that happened. That definitely happened. No,
halfway through the jump, they just land right on your dick?
Her feet were fucked up, though. Fucked up, like, just crunched
Don't
up.
they, like, wrap them in ropes and shit?
Yeah. Yeah, she showed me, like, the whole thing that she went through. And she actually wasn't dancing anymore because she had been dancing since she was, like, 5.
And now she's stripping.
I think she's a lawyer now, actually, which is pretty much the same thing as being a stripper, really. You're a whore either way. I say that as a paralegal. But yeah, so Dennis has gone on to teach martial arts and ballet and is improving people's agility through a combination of the two. I actually kind of think that's interesting in a weird sort of way. I just hope that he still has the mullet, because I want to see...
Ballet teacher with a blonde mullet?
Yeah, straight up. And that was his
How
hair.
old is he now?
I think he's like
21.
He's in his 20s. His early 20s now. Yeah.
What the fuck, Dennis? Come back to us, Dennis. You're a ballet teacher. Fuck you, Dennis.
Did you watch that video that I posted on the Facebook page last night?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You told me about it. Yeah, so I watched it right away. What I'm going to say now might be controversial.
Oh yeah.
You might be upset about it.
Okay.
But as of this news of Dennis being a ballet teacher in Colorado, I'm going to ban the name of Dennis from future Post Mortem shows. Dennis is banned. When Dennis comes back and sees the light, comes back to us, and goes back into the realm of horror, he can be back on the list. You can even use him on the list that doesn't even involve the topic. You can pull a Dom and be like, Dennis is my number 1 witch.
He is.
Number 1 werewolf is Dennis.
Yeah, straight up.
That's
number 1
fine.
Vampire.
But
My
until
favorite
then,
alien is definitely Dennis.
Until then, we do not mention him again. Or ballet.
I may forget that one.
I guarantee you will.
I don't know, man. I think real, actual, professional, competitive ballet is as hardcore as what wrestlers do.
Which wrestlers?
Even deathmatch wrestlers.
I would seriously
they beat the shit out of themselves to do what they do. All the falling, like, okay, so you've got, like, you're a ballet dancer, and you're doing the thing where, like, the person's stacked up on top of you, and they're up, and then they fall on the fucking hardwood ground. Boom. Splat. From a 6-foot height.
I'll give you that. And I'll raise you this. I have done barbed wire, glass, mouse traps, cactuses, weed whackers, fire, panes of glass, broken glass, light tubes,
but have you
Tanzons in the head. No, do not interrupt me. Do not interrupt my rant about all the weapons that I've endured. Salt in the wounds.
Yeah.
Thumbtacks? Did I say thumbtacks?
Yes, I think so.
Steel
You
chairs
did
to the
that.
head.
Yeah.
I have taken bumps off of 20-foot balconies to the fucking concrete.
You ever fold your foot in half and then wrap rope around it?
You fuck you with the rope and the foot. What else?
What if there was deathmatch ballet?
Don't. Okay, we're gonna change the subject. There's about to be a fight in here. We're about to have a first ever Post Mortem battle royale.
You're telling me if you heard that like a deathmatch ballet company that did ballet and like went through plate glass and pounded kenzons into each other's head while they were doing ballet, if that came through, you wouldn't go to that?
Maybe, but I'm just saying.
What if it was Dennis's ballet?
Maybe I'd go to Dennis's.
Smacking each other with razor kendo sticks.
Boomer, sit down. Sit down. Stop being so...
He feels your excitement.
Okay,
over ballet.
yeah, he did. He was getting all upset about me being upset, so... Look at him. Anyways, this is not a podcast about ballet or dogs or fucking deathmatch wrestling.
But it is about Dennis.
No, it's not about Dennis. We're not going to talk... God damn it, Don. Dennis is banned. Banned? Dennis is banned. So, my honorable mentions to get things back on track, as I sometimes do. Damien from The Almond. Isaac from Children of the Corn.
Okay. I had Malachi
Cole.
from Children of the Corn.
Yeah. Isaac is the first children.
Yeah.
Cole from The Sixth Sense. The little bastard. Carol Ann from Poltergeist.
Yep.
The twins from The Shining. Michael Myers from Halloween. Jason from Friday the 13th.
That's a kid.
He's a kid.
Straight up.
He drowned as a deformed kid. Gage from Pet Sematary.
Yep.
The baby from It's Alive.
Oh.
There's only one problem with their kid. It's alive. The Frog Brothers.
Yeah.
Dennis from Cabin Fever. God damn it! I just ruined my own fucking band. I brought up to Dennis again. He was on my honorable mentions. God damn it.
That's what you get when you try and censor. Dennis comes in and karate kicks you when you're not expecting it. Pancakes!
Dennis comes in with a Thanksgiving pancake incestuous rape. Kyle, the friend from Brain Scan. You ever seen Brain Scan?
Yeah, that's a great movie.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that was an Edward Furlong movie, right?
Unfortunately, but the other guy, his name is T something. The guy who plays, what's his name? He's the guy that comes out of the game, Brain Scan. He looks like Twisted Sister. He looks like
totally. He's totally like an early '90s throwback.
He does such a great job.
Yeah, that was
Great
a really
job.
cool movie.
And I wish he would have went on to go into much more roles, but not so much. So, you ever seen a movie called We Need to Talk About Kevin?
No,
dude, you need to see. Okay, that's pushing the barrier because he's like 13-ish when it starts. Or no, he's younger, like a little boy, and it takes place over many years. But We Need to Talk About Kevin is a fucked up movie.
Okay, it's
not a horror,
title, yeah,
not a horror, but fucked up.
Like Excision. Excision isn't necessarily horror, but it's
there's
fucked
a
up.
reason why we need to talk about Kevin.
Okay,
the kids from It.
Yeah.
And my last mention is Dennis from Cabin Fever. What the fuck? I just said it twice.
Pancakes. Don't sit next to Dennis. My dad's name is Dennis.
That's another reason. Okay, we're tying in incest and Dennis.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Your dad's name is Dennis.
Yeah.
He molested you
on Thanksgiving.
On Thanksgiving, and we haven't.
and now I'm accepting of ballet. It's weird how that happened.
Lawyer ballet Dennis.
So my honorable mentions: Dennis from Cabin Fever. Dennis from Cabin Fever. Dennis from Cabin. No, okay, I'll stop. The bicycle kid from In the Mouth of Madness.
Yeah,
turn it into an old man.
He's not really a kid though.
He starts out as a kid.
A little kid? No.
He's like
a teenager.
Maybe 10 or 11.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Okay.
That's actually why I put it in. Because I wanted to make sure he was a kid. But that's the reason I put him on my honorable mention was he was maybe a tween. But as he goes, he gets older.
Tween.
Gage from Pet Sematary, Ray McNeil from The Exorcist, Toshio from Ju-on.
Yeah.
I ever tell you about the Grudge Noise girl?
No.
So, when I was in high school, there was this chick that I was really into. And she, like, all the other girls I dated were, like, friends first, and then, like, we would just hook up. But this chick, like, she was in a couple of my classes. I thought she was super hot, and like, so I like asked her out, and it worked. And like, we went out for a little while, and we ended up fucking. And like, while I was fucking her, she was just laying there. And I'm like, all right, like, is she not enjoying herself? And all of a sudden, she starts going,
Yeah. It's terrifying.
Yeah. So I like stopped, and I'm like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, keep going.
And then her head fucking did a 360.
So this was before The Ring had come out, or before I had seen Ju-on.
And when you saw that fucking scared you.
And so, but like, I couldn't be with her anymore after that. Like, it creeped me out, the noise that she was making. And so, like, I broke it off with her. And I told my friend, my best friend in high school was a guy named Dan, and he asked me why I broke it off with her. And of course I told him, because I told him everything. Then years later, I'm sitting next to Dan in the movie theater, and we're watching The Grudge. And every once in a while, like, Dan would bring it up, and he'd just start making that noise at me. And I'd be like, fuck you, motherfucker. And so we're watching The Grudge in the movie theater, and
it's not even scary.
Yeah, and Dan just slowly turns and looks at me with this look on his face like, like, you motherfucker, did you make them do this?
I didn't have a grudge noise, but I did have this one girl at one time that sounded like a donkey.
Was she a donkey?
No. She's actually pretty cute, but she went... Wow. It was breathing.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much a
screw ronk.
It was like a hee-haw.
Like she was hyperventilating. Yeah, that would be pretty bad too.
That is terrible.
Yeah. So I had the grudge noise, and you had the donkey girl. Donkey grudge.
Donkey grudge.
Damien from The Omen.
This might be the worst episode ever.
Samuel from The Babadook.
No, fuck that kid.
That kid is a kid is a horrible piece of shit.
Oh, God.
Horrible, awful piece of shit. But I let it pass because him being a horrible piece of shit is completely necessary for that movie. And they made...
No, I disagree. I love the Babadook, but the only flaw is that if you hate the kid, it doesn't matter that the mom goes crazy. Like we say about, you have to have likable characters to see what happens. I fucking hated that kid.
I hated him too.
So I wanted him to die.
I felt sorry for the mom. But the reason he was...
Yeah, but when it flips like that, you don't feel bad for him. Like, if that kid was somewhat sympathetic, he's not, because he's annoying as fuck. The movie would have been, from my eyes, from an 8 to a 9.
Okay.
So. It's a good movie.
Maybe it's looking at it from a different perspective because you deal with kids all day and I don't. Yeah. I looked at it as this is the mom's story, and it wasn't Samuel's story. So I never really thought about having to be...
Yeah, but I would slap the shit out of my kid.
Oh, yeah. He was a piece of shit. And from the perspective of the mother's story, it was necessary for him to be a piece of shit. And that kid played that role to the fucking T. Like, I wanted to choke him. And I don't even really believe in hitting kids. Like, I don't even really believe in spanking kids. And I wanted to knock the shit out of that motherfucker.
Ain't nothing wrong with spanking a kid.
You ever see The Good Son with Macaulay Culkin?
Yep.
Henry.
Oh, did I skip that over?
Yeah.
That was on my honorable mentions.
He was fucking evil in that movie.
Yep. He's on my mentions. I skipped him over.
I had Malachi in Children of the Corn.
Yeah.
Danny in The Shining. Claudia in Interview with a Vampire. And also Homer in Near Dark. The two vampire kids.
Near Dark is good.
And my third vampire kid, Ellie from Let the Right One In.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of vampire kids. It's like a trope, I guess.
It is. Just like Thanksgiving.
Incestuous Thanksgivings. All right. Well, on that note.
So, it's the end of the show.
Yeah.
If you can take anything away from this episode, it's that your grandfather, your uncle, your father, your stepfather, your grandmother, your mom, your aunt, your cousin, second cousin, third cousin, first cousin once removed, whatever it may be.
Great-great-grandfather.
Great-great-grandfather. If the holidays come around, just don't go. Stay home. It's safer that way.
And if they ask you to bring something to dinner, make sure it works as well as lubricant.
And
as H.P. Lovecraft once said, if it smells like fish,
throw the fucker back.
On Thanksgiving.
Nighty-night. Keep your butthole tight.
It's gotta be Kane!
It doesn't have to be Kane anymore.
It's gotta be Sutter Kane.
It's gotta be Sutter Kane!